Hi again, I'm Hannah, also known as Singing Hen. I'm a professional musician and a singing teacher, and I also play the odd guitar. I teach online. So this week then, what I want to look at is the vocal folds. I think a lot of people have heard of them, and they're called different things. The vocal folds, the vocal cords, and in some places they're referred to as the vocal process. And when they're referred to as that, it's kind of a bigger thing, but they're all really talking about the same thing. And these are thin bits of muscle that are attached within the larynx. For those of you who are Blue Peter mad, here's one I made earlier. This is in fact a paper cup, but it's a really good way of showing quite what the larynx is and does. And again, I don't want to go into too much detail, but this is just a great starter for 10. So these are two of the main cartilages in the larynx, and actually this one could do with being a bit lower at the front, but I'm going to work with it. So you've essentially got what we call here the thyroid cartilage, and this one underneath is the cricoid cartilage. And the important thing I want to do is say that this bit's at the front, so this would be at the front, and this bit's at the back. Now there's a huge amount of other things going on, but essentially the important thing is that if I show you from the side, if you watch, the thyroid cartilage, the top one, can tip down, and does tip down when you're talking all the time. And similarly, the cricoid cartilage, the one at the bottom, can tip up. Now you might think that these things mean the same thing, but they really don't, because it's to do with what's going on in between. So here, these are here the vocal folds that we have that sit in the middle of our larynx, and they actually sit in here, in between the two. They're actually attached at the front to the thyroid cartilage and at the back to the cricoid cartilage. Now that means that if you tip the thyroid cartilage, the top one, forward, they're going to get thinner in a certain way. But if you tip the cricoid forward, like the cricoid up like that, the bottom one up, they're going to move in a different way, and this rubber band which is showing the vocal folds is going to move in a totally different way, because it's the back part of it that's getting stretched, not the front part of it. Now that's really important to know. You can imagine them as two bits of rubber, but they're not quite as hardy and as strong, so please don't try and push them past what they can do. So these essentially are together at one end and they are apart at another, so they are like that. And what they do is they vibrate together. You have muscle all the way around them, and these babies vibrating is what makes the sound. Those vibrating together, and they vibrate together like this in fact, and that is creating sound waves, and that is what makes the sound that you hear through your ear.